everyone, it's Maki here. It seems that the movie Gundam Seed Freedom has started to be released around the world. For those of you in areas where it will be released soon, please look forward to it. It's just a little longer. This time I will not talk about spoilers related to the story of the movie. We will analyze Seed Freedom through interviews with the staff and voice actors. Please note, however, that the content will contain some spoilers. If you want to watch the movie without any advance information, you may want to skip this program. Please click the subscribe button and apply to join the Yamato Squad. The World Peace Monitoring Organization campus needs your strength. It's a job that involves descending from satellite orbit to conflict zones and fighting against a large number of weapons with a small force. I wish you good luck. What was your impression of the name campus? It seems that the name was thought of by one of the production staff, Shigeru Morita. Director Mitsuo Fukuda and X discussed it as follows. Let's look at Mr. Morita's comment. I confidently came up with the name campus when I started planning the movie. I named it because I imagined an existence like a compass pointing to the order of the new era. When Mr. Fukuda and Ms. Morosawa heard this name for the first time, they had a doubtful expression on their faces. But this is also a fond memory. To this comment, Mr. Fukuda replied, "Wow, I don't remember. I'm getting older too." This seems to be Mr. Fukuda's way of being modest. Of course, Mr. Fukuda and many staff members seriously discussed and produced the movie. The name campus was chosen after much time and discussion. Mr. Fukuda once proposed the name Freedom Gundam and was opposed by many staff members. Many staff members were reluctant to have the sound "damn" repeated twice. However, Mr. Fukuda presented the idea that if it's not a name that's supposed by those familiar with past Gundams, we can attract new fans, and so the name Freedom Gundam was adopted. As a result, Freedom Gundam became an entity that gained many new fans. The name campus seems to follow a similar drama. Mr. Fukuda, who initially questioned the name campus, has somehow become one of the people who know Gundam. What was your impression of the name campus? I felt a sense of uneasiness when I first heard it. Compared to the names of the military forces that appeared in previous Gundam series, it sounds a bit cute, doesn't it? Compared to names like Hyugo, Londobel, and Preventer, it's a name that makes a significantly different impression. But perhaps the name campus also implies a determination to win new fans. And indeed, the film did well at the box office. An interview with the voice actor was published in the movie Water Fan Book. Let's look at the comments made by Win Morisaki, who plays the role of Griffin Oberrest. A journalist asks the following question. Griffin is a genetically engineered human being. He is a being loyal to Or, the queen of the Foundation Kingdom. He seems to be a somewhat sad existence, treated like a pawn of the state. How did you play this character? Many viewers might share this feeling. Mr. Morisaki replied to this question. I can understand such opinions. However, this interpretation arises because we, as people in the real world, are looking at the story from the outside. For Griffin, Or and fear his reason for living. He is not afraid to throw away his life for Or. He grew up in such an environment. When I first saw Griffin's setting, I felt it was a sad and painful existence. But when I saw it from Griffin's perspective, my impression changed. To live in such a difficult situation and still have the determination to give his life for someone is also incredible. The character pushing forward with conviction is powerful. I approach my work as an actor with the same conviction. I believe Griffin fights with a similar conviction. Griffin and the pilots of the Black Knight Squad are portrayed as villains. The Gundam series is watched by a wide range of age groups. Therefore, the villains are portrayed in a very understandable way. However, when we look at the backgrounds of Griffin and his comrades, our impression changes. Isn't it identical to Kira fighting by putting his body on the line for La Earth? Griffin is also fighting, risking his life for someone important to him. Of course, it is also true that this way of thinking was created by Eros education. But does that mean that all of Griffin's emotions are false and illusory? To deny all of his feelings might also be a mistake. Lars Klein says in the movie, "We have rejected Chairman Giuliano's proposed plan of destiny. However, we cannot deny all the people who find the destiny plan appealing. And in the movie, Kira will struggle with the role of binding himself. He struggles with the responsibility of rejecting the destiny plan. He fights for Lars, but struggles with his own powerlessness to achieve peace. Have you noticed? Kira has inadvertently put himself in the role of having to fight for peace. It's as if Kira himself is unknowingly carrying out the plan of destiny. Griffin is fighting for Ur and the Foundation Kingdom. It is his reason for living, an action that is true to the reality of his heart. You may notice that Griffin's actions are very similar to Kira's. During the planning stage of the movie, there was an idea that many clones of Kira will appear and attack as enemies. The Black Knight Squad could be a transformed existence of the idea of Kira's clones. Of course, the interpretation presented in this program is Mr. Morisaki's own interpretation developed for his performance. Different interpretations may be revealed in the setting materials that will be released one day. But the charm of the Gundam series is that not only the actors, but also the fans and each individual can have different interpretations. When watching the movie, imagining the stories behind the supporting characters may lead to an even more interesting experience. Please enjoy watching it. Let's meet again in the next program.